are. Oh, wow. Let me get the camera on my face. Hola, everybody. If anybody still uses Periscope. So, I hope this is recording to my phone because I wanted to upload this on YouTube. So, I am prepping for our homeschool year for next year. It is a mess. One of my friends generously blessed me with everything that she uses during the school year for the next grade that we are going to be going to. And I'm so grateful to her. The one thing I love about when you do something and God ordains it is that you don't ever have to worry about provision. So I am so grateful to her. This year we moved and I hadn't done any of our planning for that month of school. And she just came up to me one day and she was like, hey, I'm bringing you some work for your son, if you don't mind. And it covered us for that month and for the next month while we were able to move, finish packing at our old house, move into our new house and unpack. I mean, God just really has blessed us. So I am separating everything that she's given us. It's a big mess because I'm organizing it by subject. It doesn't look organized, but it is. And then this is the stuff I haven't done yet. This is the stuff that I had a lot of extras of. So I'm going to split this up between a couple of friends that I have. And then there's actually probably a lot more extras in here. And I'm just going to take that with me to one of our homeschool field trips we're going on next Tuesday and give it, just let the ladies just go through it. So it's kind of like shopping at Ross or Marshalls or TJ Maxx when you're looking in the box because you have to kind of pick through and see what you want. But it doesn't matter how it comes to you. Free is free. And for that, I am very grateful. So I have everything all organized and I'm getting everything organized so I can bless others the way I was blessed. But some people always ask us, let me turn around. I know y'all sick of looking at that big mess, why we homeschool. And I figured I'd go ahead and make that video. So I really hope it is recording, saving to my phone so I don't have to remake it for my YouTube channel. And that's Married to KDK on YouTube. So when my son was 2 years old, I was still working right when he turned 2. And I remember picking him up. Oh, thank you, husband. I remember picking him up from the babysitters, and she was a really good babysitter. I mean, it was like a big mama babysitter. So, I mean, you go over to her house, you get fried chicken, gumbo, like he ate good. But I remember asking him what color something was, and he didn't know what color it was. And I was like, why do you not know your colors? But everybody isn't like the way you want them to be. He wasn't going to a preschool. He was just going to Big Mama's house, and which was fine. But he did not know anything other than looking at cartoons, that kind of thing. And of course he would have eventually picked up on some stuff, but he didn't know things that I taught 2-year-olds. I worked in a daycare since I was 13, so I had been teaching that 2 to 5. That's me all day long. So I had been teaching that, but I didn't have the time when I was working to educate my son. So I was very frustrated, and then long story short, ended up being able to come home in the most craziest way. But I remember sitting in the car crying like, oh my God, what are we going to do? I'm not working. My husband's going to kill me. And because like we can't afford for me to be home, and I got to be home for a little bit so I find another job. And I remember hearing the Holy Spirit say, isn't this what you asked me for? Isn't this what you wanted, And I kind of sat there like, well, I have been praying to be home for a while. So I went to the house and looked for a job. I mean, I was applying for jobs I was well overqualified for and could not get anything. Couldn't get anything if I tried to get anything. It just would not work. So that was frustrating in itself. And I was like, I just don't understand why nothing will stick. So my husband came home one day from work and he was like, look, I was riding home from work and I've been praying and talking to God, and you're going to stay home. And I was like, what? And he was like, you're going to stay home. We're going to keep it tight and you're going to stay home. And I have been home ever since June of 2010, maybe late May, but definitely before my birthday in 2010, I've been home. And I'm very grateful for that. It was rough. I remember some days where I was home and I was like, oh no, this ain't going to work. I got to go back to work. I got to be around some adults. I can't be home with this kid all day. But I have, I thank God for just reprogramming my mind and getting me to have a clear understanding of why I'm home. And so in the midst of us being home, we had started listening to a preacher on the radio. Some of them are awesome. Not all of them are kooky and crazy. We heard one cuss this past Sunday. That was really annoying. But anyways, we were listening to Heaven 97. We had been listening to this preacher, and he had just started a church in the area. So we were like, we're going to go out and visit his church. And one Sunday, a couple Sundays before we planned on visiting his church, he was talking about homeschooling. And I had been wanting to homeschool. I just didn't know how to get started in it. Nobody I know has ever done that. So I thought that, I didn't have any resources to tap into for that. And I'm all about, let me do a lot of research. I'm big on research. So I jumped on to do my research and ended up coming across some information, and it turns out the information I came across was from the same lady that was mentioned in the sermon. So we went and visited the church. Afterwards, I ran up to the first lady and I was like, where is Miss Amy? Where's that lady that your husband was talking about on the radio? And she directed me to her, and I got a chance to link up with a great friend. And then another lady that I worked with had also homeschooled in my state, and that worked out great. And they sat and talked with me. I asked them every question that anybody could deem stupid or dumb or ignorant. I asked them every question, and they did not laugh. They answered every question, and I learned so much. And I even sat on the phone with my friend Glenda for over 2 hours and just asked her anything I could think of. Took notes. I still have those notes, and I'm very grateful. So I was able to learn about homeschooling, and I presented it to my husband then, because my husband is a numbers man, so you have to come to him the correct way. So I presented it to my husband, and as a result of me doing that, he was like, okay, I'll give you kindergarten. And I said, I'll start with kindergarten, because the way we were thinking was, if I did mess it up, if we messed it up, it's just kindergarten. So, if you mess up kindergarten, then you good. You got all the rest of the grades. You have 12 more grades to go through. So we, me and my firstborn, we started kindergarten together, and it worked out pretty well. We've just been going at it ever since. So now we're getting ready to start third grade. So that is everything you saw here. I am getting rid of the second grade and first grade stuff, and I'm going to share that with others. And then the stuff that we need to review over, I'm keeping. And then the stuff that we're going to be going over for third and fourth grade that she gave me, I'm going to be keeping that as well. And then I keep things in storage totes, because in the midst of us homeschooling, we've had not one but two more beautiful children. So I'm keeping some stuff that she's given me for them as well. And we ended up coming through with it. So after being successful in kindergarten, my husband said we can go through with first grade, and we've been going at it ever since. Homeschooling has been a great decision, I think, because it's given us the opportunity to be mindful. Hey, how are you doing? It's given us the opportunity to be mindful of the education that our son receives. We are able to just give it a more guided education, if that makes sense. It's not about keeping your children from all the rest of the children, because we are around children all the time. Sometimes we're around children too much. And I'm like, okay, we have been on a field trip every week for the past 6 weeks. We are actually going to stay home and homeschool. But we're gone a lot. We go to the library a lot. We're able to be around other homeschoolers, and I think that's amazing. He's able to, we do a lot of volunteer work, things that we could not necessarily do during the school year. We get to do because we have the flexibility to do it. We've been able to go on our family vacations during off-peak times, which is cheaper. There have been times where we've had deaths in the family, and we are able to just pack up and go to that, not worrying having to miss absences or school or work or anything like that, because we have the flexibility in our schedule. So it's been a very good thing, a very good tool, and I have met so many wonderful people via in real time, in real life, but also via YouTube. I have met some wonderful women that have helped me out, and the main thing is I have met some people who have a clear understanding of what. So we have similar goals for our homeschool. So I'm able to see them at this peak, and I'm here. So I'm able to get here, and then when I get up here, I can help somebody who's here. And it's just about reaching and helping somebody. So that's why I'm so grateful for all the stuff that was given to me, and I look forward to blessing other women with it, because, there's so many ways you can educate your children. So I just wanted to share that real quick, how we ended up homeschooling and why we have chosen to homeschool and what we will continue to do as time goes on. Like I said, we're doing a third grader. I have permission right now to homeschool, what did you say, until 6th, 7th grade?
5th grade.
Till 5th grade right now.
Well, fifth
he wants him to play sports. So my thing is, okay, he says 5th grade going into 6th grade. I say, we'll see how the world is. That's what I always say. I said, okay. But every year I do check in with husband. I sit him down. I have parent-teacher conferences with him. This is where we are. Several times during the school year, we're here. This is where he's lacking. This is what we're doing to supplement or to help him get to this level. Now we're going to start preschool with our second, so I'll be doing the same with that, and we just keep it going. But pretty much until he says that's the end, then we're going to keep on going. So every year he has been impressed. My son is very intelligent, and sometimes you wonder how smart your kid is, and then you get next to a child that, and you be like, okay, well, he can do that. Okay, well, then we're good. So even when you don't think you should necessarily assess your kids, I'm not going to lie, everybody assesses their children. Nobody wants their child to not be smart. So I'm always very grateful when I meet teachers who teach that grade, and they're like, oh, wow, we're not doing that. And, oh, wow, he knows that already. That's good. Or somebody who talks to him that's older, that teaches an older grade. And they're like, oh, yeah, I can tell that he can do this and this. And that makes me proud. And then there are some subjects that we do, the other day, before we ended school this last year, I started him on ordered pairs in preparation for the next year. And I was like, oh, my God, I haven't done ordered pairs. I had to go back and teach myself how to do ordered pairs because I hadn't done ordered pairs in years. Who still remembers how to do that? So
what is your biggest like about homeschooling?
I like the volunteer work that we do. I love that we go out to nursing homes 3 or 4 times a year, and that's what I like. I like having my son being able to access a variety of ages at any given moment, and I love our flexibility. So we're able to set our own schedule. That's my favorite thing about homeschooling is the flexibility. What's the biggest challenge? The biggest challenge is that it's still school. A lot of people think because you homeschool that your children are going to love it and they wake up every day and they eat their Wheaties. Do they still make Wheaties?
Yes.
Okay, well, they eat their Cinnamon Toast Crunch and their Wheaties and they love school, and that's not true. It's still school. So I still have to fuss with him some days. I still have to get on him. I have to go take him to the principal, like for real. Sometimes my husband comes home and my son is in there doing worksheets, and he's like, "What you do? Are you in ISS?" So that's the biggest challenge, is that it is still school. I still have to get on him because it's still school. Some days he doesn't want to get up. Some days he knows there are certain things that he has to do until Friday. He's going to wait until the last minute to do it. Sometimes it's still school. So that's the biggest challenge.
What would you tell husbands to how they can help support there?
Be the strong arm. That's how husbands can help. Be the strong arm and be supportive. That's the best thing. How do you balance with the, oh, yes. So right now we have a 2-year-old and we're about to have a 1-year-old on Friday. So since the princess is the youngest, I will get up. That's her. Tinky's the youngest. We will get her, we'll get my oldest up first. I get him up, and anything I have to sit down and teach him, I do that in the morning. I try to do it between 9 and 10 because she's older now. So I'll keep her up later, so she'll sleep in later during the school year. And then I'll do that between 9 and 10. And then now we have the 2-year-old. He'll be 3 soon. So he's able to do his own work. He has a desk in our learning center, so he's able to do his own work. And he doesn't interrupt us too much. But I try to do the hands-on stuff in the early morning with her sleep, or I may do it during her nap time. So if I can't catch it that morning, then I'll catch it during her nap right after we have lunch. And that's how I do my balancing. But I want to make sure that no child is neglected, which is, you do the best you can with that. And then the same thing with my preschooler. I do all of his stuff when the oldest is doing his self-paced work, and either she's having a nap or I have her playing with a toy or something. Then I'll work with him on his flashcards and his colors and his numbers. And yeah, we have school for Fat Max. So that's how we balance it. Making sure that it's while she is asleep. Oh, connection's bad. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I just wanted to kind of get into our homeschooling, and I will be back on probably tomorrow once I get all this done to show you what we're doing. This year we are doing Exploring Countries and Cultures with My Father's World. And are you pushing her off on me?
No, she's crawling around.
So, no, actually it is not. It depends on what you do. So, for example, we do My Father's World. So whatever I pay for the curriculum, and I don't buy it new, I buy it resold through a resale group. I sell it always the next year, and then I use that money to purchase the next year's curriculum. So it's really not necessarily a big expense. It's more so a flipping. You flip your money, if that makes any sense. So if I spend $250,
not really flip it. It's more like a re-up.
A re-up is what my husband says. I don't know those words, those vernacular words. Okay, so it's a re-up. So if I spend $250 on it, then I'm gonna sell it for $250 or $260, depending on the shipping, the next year, and then I'm going to take that money and I'm gonna re-up. Is that a drug reference?
It's a business reference. It might have some drug
okay,
connotations.
We're not going to say that. Anyway, oh, thank you. Good. Yeah, that's my big fun hobby. That's my favorite thing to do. And these videos, even though they're not my most popular, but the homeschool videos and my inspirational videos, encouraging people, those are my favorite videos, more so than hair and makeup, because that's my ministry, marriage, motherhood, and makeup. I'm all about husbands and wives staying together, raising good children that's going to be good husbands and wives one day, and looking cute while you do it. Marriage, motherhood, makeup. So, yeah. It's not a big expense at all. And then also, too, there's a lot of free resources. We use a lot of free resources. And anything that I do spend money on, I put a coupon on it. So, for example, next year we're doing Magic School Bus Science. And for Magic School Bus Science, I got that with a coupon. So I'm able to get a full year subscription. And we got it for $40, where a full year subscription is really like $75. So I thought that was a really good deal. And you get a science kit every month sent to your house with the science experiments and all the supplies you need. So we're going to use that for science next year. So I got that in January, and we're getting it every month. So when we started here in August, I'll already have those past months. So if you catch a deal like that, it's really good. And then also, like I said, the resale groups. And then the Dollar Tree has a lot of good resources for elementary. A lot of good resources. So definitely Dollar Tree is a good place to go. So, alrighty, well, let me get back to it. Princess is up, so I got to get everybody fed their afternoon snack and then start dinner. But I hope, no problem. If you have any questions, and you can always catch me on my YouTube channel, or you guys can email me, married2kdk@gmail.com, and check out my blog, Married2kdk on WordPress, and Married2kdk on YouTube, and Married2kdk on Instagram, Married2kdk on Twitter, Married2kdk everywhere. All right, happy homeschooling. Bye, guys.
Put some ground crackers.